Thank you for joining me today as I discuss personal finance assessments in the high school system. Now, currently, as many of you know, about half states require financial literacy education in schools. Only a couple handfuls require that there be assessments in place. And of those, all it is content knowledge tests. Content knowledge demonstrates their knowledge of a certain are able to answer test questions basically. Define ROI. What's a good credit score? But with personal finance, it's important we're doing other assessments to understand a student's ability to make qualified financial decisions after that class is over. A content knowledge assessment alone does not do that. It fails to meet minimum education standards if we're looking at how other classes are assessed as well. Let me give you some very clear examples. Now, there's a lot of people that know how to have a good credit rating. A lot of people know how to save money. A lot of people know how to budget, but those same people don't have a good credit rating, don't have a working budget, and aren't saving money. Why? Because it's more than just knowledge when it comes to personal finance. There's behaviors, emotions, psychology. There's a lot of other factors that impact somebody's financial well being. While content knowledge is a small portion of that, the only assessments out there across this country are content knowledge assessments in personal finance. And they're failing to meet up the minimum education standards that we in the personal finance industry know. When we're delivering coursework, yes, we do some content knowledge assessments because we want to know if the students are gaining knowledge and where they've been able to progress in terms of their knowledge of topics. That's important. However, it does not give us a long-term indicator, especially because learning loss is pretty steep if they're not able to implement things in the near term. Additionally, some people are just good at taking tests. I was always able to pass my high school and college tests with very little to no study because some people are good at taking exams. So content knowledge, although we conduct those, that's one small indicator that will help us understand somebody's abilities and understanding of the actual subjects. There's things that they're missing that are even more critical. Things like sentiment surveys. A simple question, I'm going to make these questions very simple to highlight how adding a few questions through this can make a big difference. Adding something like if we're teaching kids about moving out on their own, since taking this class on moving out on your own, do you feel more confident in doing so? Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, right? We'll get a better assessment of their confidence level in making decisions. Or, hey, since we talked about and you did a course on opening up a bank account, how confident are you in going into the bank and opening up an account? These are great indicators if somebody will actually follow through, because with personal finance, you need some type of confidence, you need some type of knowing that you really understand the information to be able to go into the bank with the proper information and open the account confidently, right? So sentiment surveys are a great assessment that that the states across the country are failing to use. Additionally, they're not doing anything with behavior assessments. Again, to oversimplify one question, but a question I love is, since you've started this course or finished this course, have you adjusted your financial behaviors to align with the goals you set for yourself? A very basic question. Scale 1 to 10. Again, we can see where the class is ranking there. Now we can get very specific with those. If we're teaching a specific topic, we can ask it on that or the overall course. Other questions that are critical are people's willingness to adopt new positive financial behaviors. The trans-theoretical model of behavior change is a great model for personal finance educators. There's people that are in a pre-contemplative stage, meaning they don't want to change. Others are in that procrastination stage where they say, hey, I want to change, but I'm just not ready yet. And there's other people that are, I want to take action because I want to move out on my own. I want to buy a car. I want to be able to pay for college. Those are different stages, and we need to do that before, during, and after programming, so we know the before tells us how we're going to teach the class and maybe how we segment the class. The during, we're seeing if there's any changes, and the after, showing our progress, our ability to motivate student change. So if we take somebody from a procrastination phase, yeah, I want to go to college, I know I need to look into different schools and how I'm going to pay, to an action phase where they're actually researching schools and learning about things, that's a big step, and that's a great indicator that we're moving them toward working to greater financial wellness. Other things that are very empirical in nature are systems surveys and system assessments. Meaning, if we're let's go back to that college example. If a kid's go to college, did they set up a calendar that gives them goals and deadlines on when they need to apply for FAFSA, research schools, explore careers, decide on majors, all those things? Have they done that? Do they have that calendar? Or if we're teaching a class on opening a bank account, did they open a bank account? Did they set up their automated bill pay? Very basics, but actually shows they're taking action on what they learned. And then finally, I always think it's important to help students and encourage students to build up key team members. Maybe it's a person at the bank. Maybe it's the school counselor that can give them guidance on their student loans. Maybe it's a family friend that's in the financial space where they can talk to and use as a mentor. Or maybe they have an interest in investing in real estate or crypto, and we encourage them to find educators online that they can train under and start to set aside time in their schedule to learn that skill set or that investment opportunity that they're interested in. So again, all the states right now that have any assessments, it's only content knowledge, pre and post tests. Many of them don't have pre-tests, it's just a post test. Do you pass? Great, move ahead. That does little to prove somebody's abilities to make confident and competent financial decisions when they move out on their own. Until states adopt more comprehensive assessments, they'll continue to fail in their mission to educate kids. And their lack of looking at best practices in teaching personal finance is a big failure. There's best practices out there, well written, well reported on, that they're failing to address, and we can see this by their complete ignorance of that and ignoring the fact that, hey, we need more comprehensive tests to really prove if this is making a meaningful difference in our kids' lives. So please, those that are advocates, advocate for more comprehensive assessments for our kids. Content knowledge, behavior, sentiment, systems, and teams, all those things are critical to give us a good indicator if a kid is prepared to make good, qualified financial decisions when they move out on their own. For parents, it's important you're being involved because schools nowadays, no state meets even minimum education standards for teaching this. And for all the school administrators, policymakers out there right now, you need to do better. We need to elevate the standards so we make sure these kids are protected.